Hi, it's Leslie, married at first sight. It's decision day. So we got some hot fashions, some snazzy looks, and a few surprises. Let's just jump into it. So the couple spent their last night together apart, I'm sure for just dramatic effect. So they could all have that moment of walking in all decked out and everything. And I tell you, we had some really good looks on this decision day event. But let me just tell you, one of the surprises, which was a surprise to me, is now after decision day, we have all these single free agents. I guess the show is going to follow the couples after decision day and see what happens. And there seems to be a little intermingling of the free agents, if you will. Anyway, they implied there's some partner swapping here, so this should be very interesting. So if you're into this kind of messy drama, please subscribe, because I'll be following along and covering all of this mess too. But anyway, Jasmine and Eris. And the big shock right out of the blocks, Jasmine showed up in green. I have never seen a girl who loves the color green as much as she does. But she did look beautiful in like an emerald green. Of course, they tried to make it sound like, oh, these two got a real chance.
I feel like the experts really opened my eyes to how we have had intimacy that I really didn't look at it as intimacy. So I feel like they pose different things to kind of make my mind start to wonder about different scenarios of how decision day could go.
They do have intimacy, and Eris certainly keeping the door open.
If I was to say yes on decision day, I would be saying yes to like staying committed. I've been committed thus far and just kind of giving this marriage like a real shot.
Well, these two obviously care about each other, and they've said they would have a happy household. You know, a lot happier than many married couples out there that have been married for like 30, 40 years. That's great. That is not who you should be comparing yourself. Newly marrieds do not compare themselves to couples that have been married 30 or 40 years. The main challenge they faced was Eris was just never attracted to her. Even with that smoking hot body, he was just not attracted. But Dr. Cal and Dr. Pepper anxiously awaited their decision, and you could see they were somewhat hopeful, and then Jasmine came out with this.
I know the wants and desires of my heart, and I know what I pray for, and I know what I ask for. I've learned even more what I want and desire in a marriage. And I feel like in this marriage, that's not what we've come to. So for those reasons, I would want to get a divorce.
What a shock. What a shock. And Eris didn't look surprised. The only thing I have to say about this is you cannot tell me that those two did not talk before. And they are friends. And this is what I think. I think Eris is at least enough of a stand-up guy that he said, you know what? I'm not just going to blindside this girl and have her say yes and then me go, no, I'm not attracted to you. She would just get kicked again. And I think he's a nice enough of a guy that he got together and he's like, you know, Jasmine, I'm not feeling it. This isn't good for both of us. Let's go. Let her go first. Let it look like it was her decision. She gets the better spot of saying, you know, this isn't for me. And then he agrees and it just looks so much nicer. So props to Eris if that's how it went down. I do think they talked beforehand. That couldn't have just been, they weren't just surprised sitting right there. They were both like, oh, you said no too? Wow, what a shock. No, they knew. And that's the way it should be done. On to Clint and Gina. I've gone full circle with Clint. He started out grossing me out. Ew, I found a little bit of appeal for him because I just like the realness. I think he's very authentic. He was himself. The only thing he wasn't himself about was that he did really like Gina, and that might have been his downfall of not at least letting her know that. But anyway, Clint and Gina, they both she looked gorgeous, gorgeous. He looked cute in his nice fitted suit as they strutted out and sat down with the experts. Here's how Clint sums up their relationship.
We've had peaks, we've had, crevices. There's definitely been some problems. But if we take all the time we spent together, 95% of it was good. And it's, do you have the ability in yourself and in the relationship to grow? And that's what decision day means to me.
Well, no surprise there. They're both getting a divorce. And even the experts agree this is like the nicest divorce ever, you know? And the one thing I say is they actually seem like they have a friendship, and they may be able to, if Clint doesn't let his emotions get in the middle of it, they may actually be able to have a friendship. We'll see. We'll see, because we're going to follow them after. But I think they could have a friendship. I mean, Clint, Hank, finally a dog that does something positive for the couples. Hank kind of, pulled them together. And Clint has a love of Hank. I mean, who doesn't love pooches? And Hank's a cute one. But I guess he's going to have visitation and can see him. And Gina's going to facilitate that. So all seems good in the Clint and Gina front. And Who knows? So Clint will continue to be a figure in Hank's life. So that is wonderful. All right, on to Nicole and Chris. This is going to be a quick one. I mean, no surprise there. I mean, I have to say she did look beautiful. The girls killed it. Whoever their team, their It Takes a Village got together, they all look stunning. Chris looked cute. I mean, he looked the same to me. Not the other guys, I think, stepped a little more than Chris. But anyway, Nicole looked beautiful. No surprise. She's whipped. He's whipped. They're happy. They're the perfect couple. They need each other, you know, and those little experts were just smug and happy and like, yes, at least we got one, you know. Whatever. They're staying together. Hopefully it'll last for at least a little while. And that's that for them. But on to the most interesting couple. It would be Kirsten and Shaq. And this is interesting because these are the two we really don't know. It was like in the beginning, Shaq was all into her and Kirsten wasn't feeling him or the bald head. I mean, figuratively, because literally she did feel the bald head. But anyway, but then kind of Kirsten came around, was doing all the things, had to meet the dad, seemed like she was trying to step it up and make it seem like, oh no, we need to stay together. They had weird exchanges the night before. She was trying to feel him out, like if he was going to say no, and nobody was saying anything. They did not have the combo before like some of the others did.
Like, well, why would you say no?
If I just wasn't at 100%, and I want to be at 100%.
What percent are you
I don't even know. I want to feel within my heart that it's 100%.
And if not, you're going to say no?
If my heart is not at 100%, I may say no.
But Shaq was obviously not like 100% in, because I'm sure if he wanted to lock this up, he'd just say, I'm in, you know, let her know, because then she'd be like, I'm in, because God forbid she goes first. I don't know how they figure out who goes first in the telling of what your decision is. But if he really wanted to lock it up and make sure she says yes, I'm sure he would tell her, I'm going to say yes, honey, so you say yes too. Something. I don't know. It's very weird. They are the big wild card. They are the ones that's the big uncertainty in this whole thing. Anyway, they walked in, they sat down, and the credits rolled, and the show ended. So that was a surprise that we have to wait till next week to find out what happens with them, because they really are the only couple that we, if we really think about it, that we do not know how it's going to end up. Could be a split decision, if you will. And of course, the experts were pushing them, you know. Our power couple, don't forget that. Remember how appealing it is to be a power couple. Well, anyway, I know we know 4 out of the 5 decisions, and all, you know, so we have 3 divorces. So in typical Married at First Sight fashion, they are helping along to keep the divorce rate at the very high rate that it is in the United States. So thank you, Married at First Sight. But anyway, we have one left to go, and we'll find out next week. But the good thing is we get to follow these couples and find out all the messy drama they get into when they split up from their spouses, and they can actually go after the other ones that they really wanted. That will be interesting because, oh, I've got some couples that I could put together. I could definitely put some together, and I'd be curious to see how it turns out. But anyway, if you want to follow along and watch all that mess, I will be following that too. So please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.